And we just chillin', kicking it, kissed by the sun. Could be soaked to the skin in the mall soon. I know she got the good vibes when seasons change, but we're the same. Even if I lost, I'm running. My tongue tied up on it. And I don't need to speak a single word. 'Cause you got me holding.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Houjun Liu, and thank you so much for joining us today. A few months ago, our team set out to create a system of productivity that is holistic, powerful, and most importantly, free. We saw the opportunity to empower more people to employ such enterprise-grade software for managing their busy lives, but without the overhead of business-level costs that are typically associated with these applications. On the other hand, a lot of apps advertised as a personal productivity solution are often terribly designed. Incidentally, this is one of the top results for a quick Google search of boring business software. Condution combines enterprise-grade power with an intuitive interface that can be easily fit to your needs. As you would likely guess from the video you see already, Condution is a to-do list app, first and foremost. This means that creating something to do is very easy, just like this. That's it, you're done. You've started the first item in your to-do list. Obviously though, while it's perfectly acceptable to use Condution like this, the Condution platform is truly so much more powerful. It contains a variety of features to help you manage your day better. Let's see some of them. That is slightly more than just a simple to-do list. Well, this is Condution. I'm going to hand the slides off to Zachary Sayyah. He'll lead you through a fuller demo of the app and show you how you can empower Condution to accelerate your workflow.
Let's start by breaking some of this down. Condution, at its core, is still full of lists of tasks. These lists can range from a simple one-off shopping list to a complicated multi-level project with dependencies. Condution can and should be used for both of these examples and everything in between. Tasks have start dates and due dates, letting Condution remind you of tasks that are close to being due, and tasks that are overdue. You can't start a task until a certain date. Sure, task defer dates help you see, at a glance, tasks that you can and can't do at a particular time. We have also implemented something called perspectives as a solution for all your task and project filtering needs. Now you can see all of a certain type of task in one place, filtering based upon defer date, due date, parent project, tags, and more, all with well-documented syntax, of course. For instance, I have this perspective that filters for tasks that have aftercare tags. As you can see, some tasks really shouldn't be done before others are, so I'm going to head on over to that project, switch it to being sequential, where one task must be done before the other, head on back to the perspective here, tap edit, and show all that's available. Boom, the list now shows only the tasks that could be done. Finally, for those of you who travel, or rather hope to travel once this is all over, the nifty globe button on every task allows you to set floating and fixed time zones that would intelligently fix or convert time zones based upon your preferences. So tasks' due dates are always triggered at your preferred time. As a student development team, we understand the importance of connectivity. To talk to you more about our open development environment, I will hand the slides over to Huxley Marvit.
The Condution platform is powered by Google's Firebase engine, keeping your to-do list rapidly synced across the globe. Developers can utilize the open-source Condution engine to build APIs and scripts that integrate into the Condution ecosystem, making it even better than it already is. As our commitment is to make enterprise-grade productivity available to everyone, Condution source code is licensed under the GNU GPL open source license, which means it's completely available to the public for modification, distribution, and contribution. And just as we value the quality of our app, we also value the community that we hope to form around it. To talk a little bit more about that, here's Micah Robinson.
We're hoping to work very closely with the community, and we're always looking to improve Condution. Join the community by supporting us on Patreon, contributing to the project, and hanging out on Discord. We will also be developing a mobile app so that you can be connected to Condution wherever you go. Join our Discord to be the first to hear about new features and the upcoming mobile app. Condution is available for download on macOS and Windows today. Find the download at our website, condution.shebang.cf. Thank you so much for coming. If you have any questions or comments, please ask them at chat, and we will hang around to answer them. Good night, and don't forget to create amazing things.
So we were asked how we plan on monetizing this app. Well, this app is free for all users, no matter what, and it's actually open source. However, we do have a Patreon, so if you do wish to support us, you can support us there, and all donations are very appreciated. Thank you.
So one of the questions in the chat is whether or not we're planning for a Linux release. So our platform is actually built on the software called Electron, which is actually supported by building for Linux. So for this platform, we're going to build for Linux as an upcoming project, and please be tuning into our Discord for the latest on that information.
So one of the questions was, how do floating time zones work? And the most basic explanation of those is instead of when you move from one place to another, the task will be due at the time that it was set to do in your original time zone instead of being due at your new time zone. And that can be helpful if you travel.
So we are actually, as part of one of our branches in the backend, we're actually developing this thing using a technology called WASM, so WebAssembly. And part of that, a Vessel's backend may fit into that. So tune into our Discord and show up around in the community for immediate information on that.
So we don't currently have any plans for that at the moment, but that's actually a great feature that we might implement in the future. Thanks for the suggestion, man.
And that is referring to the Google integration and Siri integration.
So one of the questions is about color-coded tasks. So at the moment, we do not support color-coding tasks, but that is something that we are hoping to implement in the future with tags and tag coloring. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Oh.
Okay, so there seems to be a lot of question about the floating time zones feature. The basic idea is for a lot of people who travel, for instance, I have buy milk, right? And buy milk is something I really want to do at 9 a.m. every day, whether or not I am, right? Whether I'm in the UK or in America, right? So I have this bubble of like Jack Standard Time around me, and wherever I go, that's when it triggers. So 9 a.m. in London, if I'm in London, 9 a.m. in San Francisco, if I'm in San Francisco. That's called floating time zones. And when you have it off, a task due at 9 a.m. will be due at 9 a.m. my place. So for instance, if I create a task that's due at 9 a.m. in San Francisco and I travel to London, it will be due at whatever 9 a.m. is in San Francisco for London. So that will be a different time. And that's for something that if you're collaborating across the planet and you want to actually stay at something to do at a certain specific time.
So we use a Google Firebase backend, meaning that wherever you choose to use this app, your data will sync as long as you're signed in to the same account. So across whatever device you use, all the data will be synced.
Currently on our kind of task list, there's currently no plan into integrating into Microsoft Office. However, we have an open API and backend in the GitHub page that you'll be able to plug into if you, for instance, want to build this thing that integrates into MS Office. Thank you for the suggestion. We're going to take it into account and potentially build an MS Office integration later on. Join the Discord for more information on that. As always, more on the releasing information will be available on the Discord.
So one of the questions was about shared projects, and actually that's on our short list of new, ready to implement features. We're not quite there yet. Condution's in beta, but hopefully in the full release, we will have such a system.
So this app is designed to be usable. Of course, there are many different features which are very powerful. However, none of them are required to use this app effectively.
So one of the question was whether or not we're going to build a calendar-based perspective. That's actually one of the things on our shortlist that we're building. Look for that in the beta 0.2 update, so the very next update that's coming. And that's one of the features we're trying to build, which is that you can still filter perspectives upon tags and projects and sort them, but then you can view these perspectives based on their due date in sort of a date row or date column type of thing. So look forward to that. If you download the latest version, it should auto-update when we release it. And stay tuned about the actual development of that feature on the Discord. I'll post the link again in the description. It's already there. And I'll also post it in the chat after the Q&A session is done.
So one of the questions was about implementing priorities when it comes to tasks. And we've actually thought about implementing that with a tag-based system where tags can have weight. And you can assign priority based upon tags. So yeah, that is actually another thing that is on our short list to implement before a full release.
So the Condution project currently syncs across this platform called Firebase. But if you want to sort of build a LAN integration, which is kind of what I'm hearing you say, then what you could do is you can plug into our Condution engine, which is the sort of API that integrates with the front end of our service. So that's going to be something that's possible that the community can implement. And then for kind of just multiple people using the same network, then obviously that will be done just through sending over in Firebase. So that could be done if you don't want a sort of private LAN integration that way.
Importing and exporting tasks is a planned feature, so stay tuned for that and you can join our Discord to find out when it's going to be released.
So one of the questions in the chat is why we chose the name Condution. I was actually partly in part of this process, but basically the idea is that this app is conducive to your work. And a lot of the productivity apps, you kind of get stuck in this field of like, you keep trying to be productive, not really kind of actually doing things. And we feel like Condution should be a thing that's conducive to you working and not be sort of a huge overhead to setting up tasks and setting up projects. And instead it should be just a conducive material that is Condution, right? Like it's the conducive material for you to achieve more in your daily lives.
For any further questions, please join us on our Discord. Download the app at condution.shebang.cf. The link is in the live stream chat. Thank you all so much for coming and being part of the start of this emerging community. Again, thank you everyone, and have a good night.